So while the economy is crashing, people are losing their jobs, and consumer confidence is hitting the lows, Trump's got a new plan. So what's that? He's going to sell you a card with his face on it for reals. America the Beautiful, the national parks and federal recreation lands pass. There he is. There's Trump next to George Washington. They want to sell you this thing. These are the headlines then. The price to enter many U.S. national parks is set to triple for foreign travelers. You heard that correctly, triple. And this is on top of, remember, they're raising all of the visa fees if you want to come visit the USA. Here's some details of the national park thing. This just came out today. For example, according to the Interior Department's statement of new fees at the Grand Canyon National Park, the cost of driving in a private vehicle is $35. Okay, sounds reasonable, but non-U.S. visitors now would have to pay an extra $100 per person on top of that, making admission for a family of four $435 if they don't have an annual pass. $435. And it's just like you're basically chasing away tourists. I don't think many people are going to want to pay this. I don't think many people are going to want to come as it is, let alone the fees are ludicrous. So there's like, do I want to come and pay a high visa fee? Do I want to come and possibly get arrested by ICE? Do I want to come and then go to National Park and pay like over $400 to go to visit said thing? And then I guess as your added bonus, you get a card with Trump's face on it. This is from the White House, and they say America's offered more affordable prices while foreigners pay much more. That's their messaging. Then they show Americans First. Department of Interior announces America First national park entry fee policies, including affordable prices for Americans and high rates for foreigners. I don't even know what to say anymore other than that these people are crazy. This is on 11 parks, I guess, that they're doing the $100 per person charge. It's so much. And it's Acadia National Park, Bryce Canyon National Park, Everglades National Park, Glacier National Park, Grand Canyon, Grand Teton National Park, Rocky Mountain. Then you got Sequoia and Kings Canyon, Yellowstone, Yosemite, and Zion National Park. This is also on the heels of, we just talked about this before, Haiti, the World Cup team, talking about soccer. They recently qualified, right? And then the Trump people are like, well, your players can come, your coaches and such, but not the fans. Like we're just chasing away tourist dollars. It's just absolutely insane. And Trump keeps showing signs of dementia because today, this are actual headlines on CNBC. I guess he's like pressuring Paramount to make Rush Hour 4. He wants to sell you a card to get to national parks with his face on it, and then like he's really concerned about which movies Paramount makes. So he's like, you got to make Rush Hour 4. I remember a time when I saw Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3, and that Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, they're really funny, and I just really want Rush Hour 4. And I guess one of the reasons why they weren't making the thing is the previous director, right, Brett Ratner, had these issues with sexual misconduct allegations and such, and this is several actors here. I remember reading about this stuff. I don't want to go into the details of that, but I'll just say this: nothing shocks me anymore with Trump. The people who he wants to work with help out or whatever. And this is the reality, guys. I mean, look at this: consumer confidence hits lowest point since April as job worries grow. And it's no wonder you got a president who's like, seriously, just, I don't know, we can call him dementia grandma, grandpa, grandma and grandpa to combine, whatever. And people just don't feel good about the future. I completely understand. Here's what it says. Consumers were notably more pessimistic about business conditions 6 months from now, right? Mid-2026 expectations for labor market conditions remain decidedly negative, and expectations for increased household income shrunk dramatically. So we're worried about if we're going to lose our job, and we're worried about even if we have a job, does it even pay enough? And then you get this news here. This is from ADP. You can read it. Private payroll losses accelerated in the past 4 weeks. Basically, we're shedding more jobs. It says, I'll just tell you, private companies lost an average of 13,500 jobs a week over the past 4 weeks. And then that's an acceleration from the 2,500 jobs a week in the last update. So it's like really picking up in terms of job losses. Another headline related, private job losses sped up this month as the labor market declines. You're going to hear a whole bunch about how we need to cut rates because jobs are weak, right? And then you're also going to be hearing about inflation probably. I mean, it's going to be a dual thing that we have a problem with. I personally think, though, and I've been telling you guys, I think the unemployment situation is going to end up being the headlines and sort of the big news, unfortunately, as long as Trump's in office. I'll just be frank with you guys. You're also dealing with a graying workforce. I'll just give you some numbers. It says, it's from ADP. That tracks with a graying labor force where 36% of the workers are 55 or older. Wow. 36% of the workers are 55 and older. The reason why I mention this is because, when you get to a certain age, there's some jobs you just can't do, right, so easily. So Trump may say, hey guys, you're all going to work in the factories again. But if you're, older, it's harder to do that kind of thing. I'm just being, realistic with you guys. And if you haven't seen the movie American Factory, it's on Netflix. Check it out. It just covers that very, very well. Now, while that's going on, trying to sell you the Trump card thing for national parks, and we're losing jobs, Fox News is trying to tell you everything is cheap. They're running the story, and this is like with the Farm Bureau where they come with these prices. And this is an average cost for 10 people of Thanksgiving dinner. And I want to hear from you guys because I always say the same thing. Don't let Fox or these people tell you how much stuff costs. You tell me. You go to the store and you tell me. These costs seem really low to me across the board because they're saying here the average cost for a 10 people for Thanksgiving dinner like this year is $55. So like $5 a person, it just seems too low. And even in 2023, 61. I mean, it's I don't know. I want to hear from you guys. It just seems like it seems low because I know how much stuff costs. This seems low to me. And I'm not. I think things cost a lot more in this. But here's some other prices. They're saying like the West Coast is the highest. Then you got the Northeast, and then you have the Midwest and the South. So South comes in the cheapest. And then according to them, I'm just showing you prices because I want to hear from you guys. Turkey, 16 pounds, about $21. Then you got cranberries, a couple bucks. Sweet potatoes at $4. That's for 3 pounds of it. Carrots and celery. And I just leave the list up here. Milk's at $3.73, etc. But I just know how much stuff costs. It's a lot. And I was looking at a different report. So this will be coming from Al Jazeera. They're going to have a different point of view. They say price increases as Americans prepare for Thanksgiving. So then they have a picture of like things that go up. So like they're saying turkey's up 40%. So I don't know. I mean, it depends. Obviously, it depends on which store you shop at. So I want to hear from you guys. Lettuce and tomatoes are up. They're saying apples are up, rolls are up, right? Juices are up, etc. So things cost more. And when it comes to the layoffs, because I want to put this all in connection because this holiday season is really important to the economy, as that's when stores need to sell stuff, right? And I keep hearing mixed things. So that I think the industry is trying to be positive, like, oh yeah, we're definitely seeing customers coming through the doors. But then when you check with actual consumers, they seem to be pulling back. And then this was just announced today, more job losses. HP announces job cuts as profit outlook falls short of estimates. Basically, what this boils down to is they're going to fire a bunch of people, and they're saying, hey, we're going to place you with robots. I mean, this is from HP, Hewlett Packard, right? HP gave a profit outlook for current year that fell short of estimates, and the company said it will cut 4,000 to 6,000 employees through fiscal year 2028 by using more AI tools. That's coming from them. Then the CEO is like, quote, it's something we have to do to make sure the company stays competitive. And that's referring to, quote, savings is how they refer to it. The savings will come from HP applying AI tools to areas like product development, customer support, sales, and manufacturing. And that's through 2028. So like if you just do the math, like, does that mean you're not going to be hiring for 2 years and you're actually going to be mostly cutting workers? Is that what we're saying? I mean, it feels like that to me. I'll just be frank. And then you look at Dell just reported their earnings today. And the reason why you track this stuff, and you always want to track these things, is because we're not getting any government data, right? They said that we're canceling, the inflation, jobs, and GDP reports, so we don't know officially from the government, but you get a sense of it from your own personal life. Plus, you can hear it from the companies. So, for example, Dell says, Dell misses on revenue, offers strong forecast driven by AI sales, okay? And when you dig into the numbers, I'll give you the basic gist of it. They, I guess, are selling, AI stuff and chips or whatever, servers to, other businesses, right? Because everyone's investing in this stuff, if you want to call it that. Remember, the whole goal is to replace you, the worker. And then lo and behold, like their actual consumer sales are down, right? So increase in AI stuff. And then it says right here, Dell's laptop and PC business was hit particularly hard, declining 7%. Like our whole economy and everything's being propped up by all of this, basically a bunch of data centers. It's ridiculous. I showed you guys yesterday, the Eric Trump thing, the data center, where basically people don't even work in said things, right? There's jobs building the thing, and then when you actually open, there's just not a lot of jobs there. And it's just crazy. And then you check on what Trump's doing, and I know I kind of rant here a bit, but it's like our news is like so absurd. It doesn't feel real. Look at this. What's going on with Trump's gold Oval Office sign? So they put up like this basically Kinko's type paper with gold letters on it. And when you dig into this stuff, they're asking, okay, so whose idea was this kind of thing? And I guess Trump is spending hours a day basically decorating the White House. It's so ridiculous. And for reals. No, this is a quote here. It says, "I'm sure I've seen it on a restaurant menu, for instance." And they're asking someone about like who picks the fonts for this stuff, because I guess the fonts they use for this stuff is kind of weird, and the whole thing is bizarre. It's another person says it's historically too light and weak for signage. I mean, you're picking the wrong fonts and stuff for the walls. Yeah, so I guess we have to put signs in there for the Oval Office and the Walk of Fame. I have a feeling maybe Trump doesn't know where he is walking around the White House, and that's why they have to put up the signage. They're not going to say that, but I wouldn't be shocked. And then you look at the way that Trump is running the administration as such. Now Hassett is the front runner for the Fed. It's been rumored for a long time. It's either going to be Hassett, Bessent, or maybe Waller, but the two front runners will be Bessent and Hassett. Hassett's this guy. He's the guy who's always smiling and lying, basically. And if you guys don't know, he and I went to the same school. I'll just tell you this. He's not stupid. Hassett's not dumb, but he's a total liar and completely untrustworthy. It's obvious. Anyone who watches this dude, and he'll play word games. These people do that all the time, right? They'll rarely tell you the truth, and you don't want this guy to be in charge of the Fed. I was looking through this stuff, and I'll make it simple. Basically, what it sounds like to me, what they want to do, they just want to keep cutting rates, right? That's what Trump wants. Then Trump tries to find someone who's like, oh, you want to cut rates? I want to cut rates. Cut rates is awesome. And, essentially, they want to keep that borrowing going so we get more data centers, right? What did Karen Levitt have to say? She says here, White House Press Secretary Karen Levitt in a statement said, quote, "Nobody actually knows what the Trump will do until he does it. Stay tuned," right? So she's not necessarily addressing it directly. When you talk to Bessent, what it sounds like to me is they want to reduce transparency over there and probably want to centralize more control with, whoever takes the Fed chair. That's kind of how I see it, which is nothing shocking. What they, what really worries the market, though, is if there's any sort of hint that they're not independent at all and making decisions based on political decisions, not based on what's best for the economy. This could be this all the stuff put together, but this is actually really want to pay attention to who is it going to be. If it's Hassett, I'll say this: it'll be interesting because from one point of view, you could say, "Wow, he's going to help Wall Street." Oh yeah, so. I guess more data centers and, more K-shaped economy where the rich get richer and the poor get poor. And so I guess some people may celebrate, but I think in long term, if you want to talk about sustainability, you want to build an economy that works for everyone. That's my opinion on this stuff. And, when you read through the stuff, we'll read a little bit Bessent says, you'll get a sense of what they say. Okay, so from Bessent. There's this very complicated calculus between the monetary policy, the balance sheet, and regulatory policy, okay? And we've really emphasized in the interviews what's the interplay for the calculus, okay? I think it's time for the Fed just to move into the background. Okay, what does that mean? Without detailing what that would entail. And he often suggested central bankers may be speaking too often, right? Doesn't want so many speeches from the Fed, so basically they want to reduce transparency. You can see it in their language here. Quote, "We just need to calm down all these speeches, these bank presidents, that they are just redundant." And what it sounds like to me is like if and you can go through the way he talks, but I think the plan is you only have, Hassett come out and talk and everyone try to keep everyone else silent and then be less transparent on how decisions are made. And none of this stuff's surprising, but it doesn't make me feel confident. And I can understand, especially when the job losses are the way that they are. And whenever you check in Trump's plan, it just doesn't even seem real. I mean, this is the kind of crap that, dictators do. I mean, you guys know this stuff. Like, just he puts his face on everything, puts his name on everything, and then the White House has all these like weird gold signage that looks like restaurant menus. And so that's where we are. So I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Please share, and I'll catch you all in the next video.